I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Take a motion on the board minutes for April 18th.
I'll make a motion, we accept the board minutes for April 18th, 2023.
I second, I saw one little misspelling.
Yeah.
It was just said Doe instead of does, we didn't know what it
I'll
said.
catch it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to carry with that. Go to correspondence. First one from Mako, and it's on the Forest Reserve payment.
Some reason I'm not.
You just had to yell at
You have
me.
to let me.
Yeah, you had to yell at me.
So one thing on that correspondence, when you look on the very last page and it shows what Granite County's getting and what they're keeping. What do they call it, what, question. It's clear back there, it's. Probably almost, yeah, there you go. Where it says. What we're getting. And then what we're actually doing is because they're keeping. They keep apart. For, and that was the one. Where had we made this. Its own fund. And appointed a board. We would have been able to keep that balance. Just FYI.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. It says in there, we're there to check on us every once in a while. Make sure we spend money on it. Read that. I thought we spent on it.
For the SRS funds,
Oh, you're talking about SRS?
Yeah.
I was talking that
we're talking
2 million.
of the 2 million. Well, it's discretionary, so
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But it says in there, oh, we had 2 million thing, we're supposed to pay 20,000 on.
they were
Is that
what?
what this is?
No,
No,
this is
is
the Title I and Title II and Title III.
I think that's all the correspondence we have. It's
Oh, there was that. There was another memo from. Is it,
this one.
hold on. Hey. Right there for that.
And memo from the Justice Court. Judge Brasky. Attending a conference. Any comments on the correspondence? Being none, we'll move into public comment. Who's Aria? Here.
So,
I just, we just know it's.
so you have to mention it. Right.
I don't know.
So this is
It's to
from the
blame.
landowner, and this is the one where aren't we tabling the,
You put it back on for today,
oh, we did,
yeah.
why,
And
because
then-
they did all the,
No, he wants to postpone it some more. You just got that, so I mean, that's why it's not out there. And I haven't talked to Blaine about it. Is this is that,
well, I thought that Ken Jenkins was gonna do some more to try to figure it out, to make it a boundary adjustment.
but now they don't have that time and the guys out of town, so now they want more.
But then, yeah,
I guess, you know, this is why we gave them 2 weeks to do it.
Yeah.
And then now, so now they're on more, it just seems, I don't know. I guess. when it
but I guess
comes time
is
for it,
Linda gonna come down and,
Yeah,
I believe so.
she'll be down a couple, 3 times today, it looks like.
She's gonna hang out.
Any public comment?
So how much of this are we getting?
5,
okay, so
13.
you look at that. And then you look, here's the actual. The principal, there's 573, and Title I, 530,000 comes to Title I. And then. Title III, there's 43, so Title I includes the SRS and PILT. And then. So it's saying 573, and it comes total principal 573, but then there's left. So this is how much we're actually getting. I guess.
Any public comment? What is that guy? Yeah. Any public comment? This is a good map, and you put it there, so I didn't mess it up. This is on solid waste.
Oh,
But read that.
so there actually was a survey.
Later's gonna come down and explain.
Oh, I don't know if she was gonna come down this morning. I can
Did you
call her though.
couldn't find the survey?
Back in front of all the. So,
So which is. Is this the town?
this is the solid waste place. And growing.
And then this is what Granite County owns?
Yeah.
Okay, track one, Granite County to Thomas Lumber. Track Thomas Lumber to Granite County. Track two. Thomas Lumber to Granite County, and then Granite County to Thomas Lumber. Then what did Thomas Lumber do with it?
The town is the way I understand it. I need Lynn to come down and explain.
Okay, so did Thomas Lumber then see track one back to the county?
That's the way I take it.
So there'd have to be a deed.
I'm gonna call her that.
And
I'm gonna call her. If she's available.
And this whole track here is what Granite County owns.
that's the way I understand it, but Linda needs, we need to have Linda.
And then where's the Drummond part?
You don't?
It don't look like they do, it looks like Thomas Lumber gave it to Grant County. But like you said, it got Linda, I don't know, looking at it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I guess that's what was in there, and it would. It's hard to understand.
So there's also COS 381. Granite County, you pull that.
Oh, wait, here's the email.
I don't know if you're seeing he here.
There is a survey, it is attached. This is the whole parcel through showing both the Drummond piece tract 1 and the county piece tract 2 together.
What's that, Billy?
So this says, this is the email from Linda to Blaine with that attached. And it says, this is a survey, it's attached. This is the whole parcel though, showing both the Drummond piece, tract 1, and the county piece, tract 2 together. And Linda, I couldn't get a hold of her upstairs.
So the Drummond piece is track one.
Yes,
Okay, so then. Granite County. It went from Granite County to Thomas Lumber, and then what did Thomas Lumber do? Deed it to town of Drummond?
I don't have
So
any
there,
information.
yeah, it's in, it has to be the town of Drummond,
We have Sarah look it up.
should be able to, yeah.
You want to ask her? Trying to figure out what's what, words, things there.
What do you know, Chuck?
Yeah.
Goddamn snow, huh?
Every Monday night or Tuesday, drive in on the crop,
It just won't quit.
you know.
Soon as you come around the corner of Maxville, it just all rain, never got any snow.
Fall down.
Yeah. God,
7/10 of an inch precipitation.
oh, is that right?
That thing with that snow is heavy, it's about that deep. You got 7/10 of an inch.
Yeah, the creeks are gonna start rising in the next few days. Sure of that. Boulder Creek still, man, that's just low.
It's way down.
Yeah.
Still down below that big rock that I look at every morning, it hasn't moved.
I can't believe it.
Well, we'll wait for Blank to come back in with that and we'll go to your stuff.
Hey, Paul, before you go today. Whip your truck down here. Got it, this old table that we. Take it from inside.
You'd be down there with that door open.
What?
I
It's
didn't,
not gonna be in the basement, it's right by his back door here,
oh, okay,
yeah, just pull up by the handicap thing. And we'll shut it.
okay.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Is that that?
No, I think there's
Oh.
more.
That's a whole different.
We got a whole bunch of stuff. You and I will powwow.
I was down and looked,
Oh, you already looked. Okay.
yes. You good place, garbage. Doesn't matter, junk, we need to go to the
There's a
dump.
lot. We had
All
some.
right, well, we're gonna move
specifications
on, no
for it.
public comment, we'll go into weekly report with Dayton Bridge, Paul is here. First part on it is removal of cattle dogs.
Didn't get the paper took care of because they were in having a baby. So we'll get that.
Sharon's having a baby.
Yeah. Well, the way she acts, she might as well be. But anyway, well, I'll get that taken care of next week.
Okay.
But yeah, Joe and I'm busy, so.
Okay. So on the next one, it's a bridge review. He gave me a piece of paper this morning on the ones that we need to post signs on. We gotta figure out what we want to put on for Ranch Creek, Gold Coin, Black Pine, Middle Fork, and Stony Creek.
Them are the ones that address first, and we need to have the engineers come and say, what can you post them to? They need to figure it out.
So we'll get a whole Great West and have them come and look at them bridges first. That, get a motion on that, entertain a motion to have them come and review the bridges and get what the tonnage we can put on them.
I'll make that motion to have, what was it, to have, Great West come and tell us which ones to put the sign down and what to put on.
Yeah.
Need to know what, need to know, them are the ones we definitely need them on, they're the first ones. But they need to tell us what to put on.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any public comments? All in favor?
Yeah.
Motion been carried and passed. We'll have Billy send, a letter and see if they. Get some one of them come out, Jonathan and Jeremiah. Look at them.
Can you show me what the numbers on the bill?
As far as roads go,
Like this is.
Absolutely.
Right, this one?
getting a lot of grief over
Just a second.
the bus run,
The what?
over the bus run at Rock Creek. You know, they're getting a lot of complaints over that, but there's nothing we can do about it. We were out of Middle Fork yesterday and just tried to pull a little bit in to fill some of the ruts, and it's just soup, you just can't. And I talked to Justin, he's in charge of the buses. And so what they're gonna do is he said one bus will just have to go a little farther and the other one will go a little less. To make up for it, 'cause it's so slow driving in all those potholes. But he understands there's nothing you can do. I mean,
Where's the worst part of Rock Creek?
pretty much
Whole thing?
to the ranch is the worst. Yeah, well, that's all the traffic.
Yeah.
But none of it's good, but that's the worst part. And
Well, it's supposed to warm up and dry out next week, so.
yeah, we should be late.
Maybe we'll get something going
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. And then, you know, that'll be. We'll be going 100 mile an hour to Bladen and Band-Aiding it together, and then we'll go back and start hitting them. But just so if your phone rings, that's the deal. I know you guys know it anyway, but it's just the way it is.
Done.
Other than that, that's about all I got.
Hey, how's the gravel pit?
I was just gonna say, he's supposed to finish that today,
Okay.
and then. This is my thought on it. We're gonna have Hanscom survey it one more time. And then it's close enough, some, you know. If he's a little bit short, okay, if he's a little bit over, better yet, but. he wants to get out of there too, so another day, if he has a good day today, he's ready to figure he's got enough. We'll have Hans do it, so we can start using the stuff.
He would be Tommy.
Oh, fine, yeah, yeah. That would help, like, yeah. But. Just say you survey it, and he's 700 yards short, there's no sense in crushing it again and surveying it again.
Okay, I think we're all agreed on that. Next thing, plows, you said took truck over.
I did. And waiting for him to give us a exact number on the plow for the 2 new trucks that we bought. And it'll be, it could be 2 or 3 weeks yet. You know, but I just want it to be so it's exactly what it's gonna be. So,
Okay, and then you brought home the patcher,
yeah,
so,
Yeah.
we got it here, that
The what?
$45,000, the patcher,
Hmm.
he got it home, so.
Okay,
That's what we got with those.
we're just getting that rigged up now and putting our stuff on that we want and. Because. Sun's gonna turn around here one of these days, we're gonna be needing to go,
it is.
yeah.
The last thing I have is signs on drums, and somebody called it, it's a no ID number, and they just, it's like, what are you doing with signs, and. I couldn't get back to them, so I don't know, if you got a call?
No.
I think you put them where you think they should go, and let.
They're putting them in right now.
Okay.
That was discussed, was it last week? or-
Yeah, somebody called, wanna know something about the sign place, there's no ID number, so I couldn't,
Call him back.
yeah, so I just wanted to pass that on there. I figured Paul knows where to put them where he wants them, because we're the ones that are gonna be liable for it. That's my opinion.
Well, they'll be in there today. And we'll see how long they last.
And that was all approved before on the 25 mile an hour, right?
Yeah, Billy looked it up.
Okay.
2021, spring of 2021.
I just wanna make sure that we got, we're putting that up, that we're not. So, that's all I have on the road.
Eva called and so we plan on putting some gravel on Middle Fork. Yeah, that's all it worked, and then, that
Who
cattle
called?
guard.
Eva. She lives out on the middle fork.
Negus. Lives out in the, past the rock pit there.
No, we'll have to pull that cattle guard out and do something with it. When we're gravel. Is the plan, so.
So,
I don't know what she wants. I mean, we.
could we put the cattle guard from East Fork there?
Well, I don't know. I gotta measure them and see. There's one pretty good on there. But if not, because that one's up there again. You know, we welded and patched and welded them. And
So we will replace it or fix it.
yeah. Yeah. There's 2 of them.
Yeah,
They're side by side.
Okay,
Wish it's not to, but. That's probably it I can think of.
okay, any public comment for? On the roads? Being none, we'll move on to the next one, solid waste.
Would you, while we're on solid waste, show me where the dump is? Again.
On that Sorensen Lane, right, when you come off Sorensen Lane, you just go up a little.
Of what little area?
Be ready, let's see, just come up. Just want to use that.
This piece right here.
Let's see.
Ooh, that looks familiar. What's this? Is that the dump? The reason I just want to see how it looks on the cadastral.
If, later up there,
Let me check.
you come down there and look at it.
Sarah's gonna look up the deeds for it and then bring it in
Oh, okay.
to see if Thompson lumber deeded to the town of Drummond. Tract 1.
Hey, Linda, it's Billy.
1 or 2.
Quick.
Well, tract 2 came.
I'm down. So then we'll have it over that's tight into rum. All right, thank you.
Hey, that's, I
Bye.
don't understand, I was looking.
Linda's gonna come down.
Oh, Linda's on the way down. Anyway, what else is on the solid? Oh, go ahead, Elena, on the road.
Thank you. Elena Gagliano for the record. It's very hard for us to follow what you're talking about. And apparently, why don't you share the screen on the document so we all can see it? Even the chair has to share what Blanche is looking at. So why can't you put it up here and share, screen share, so we can see the documents you're talking about? That's my question.
What we're talking about is, before we discuss, I wanna find out exactly where the dump site is all. And means we're in the solid waste, so that we can discuss a survey that we're gonna discuss with,
Linda's on the way down.
we're gonna discuss with the solid waste manager.
Yeah,
Here,
here she comes.
I
You
find
know,
out,
right?
Elena has another comment.
do you have me where you?
Oh, you wanna wait?
Thanks for coming down, Linda.
Yeah.
Now we're-
Oh, come the box camera.
we should ask one of ask is on that map on the solid waste in Drummond,
Mhm.
Sarah happens to try to find a deed. What do you have? I have a hard time reading.
So the piece that's marked, I think, track one, the smaller of the two pieces. That was gifted to the town of Drummond. Way back. In an old deed. And then, they must have wanted to expand a little bit. So they picked up, they boundary line relocated and picked up that other piece. But when they got the other piece. For whatever reason, that piece was gifted to the county. So it's one piece, but a part of it was gifted to Drummond. And a part of it's gifted to the county.
So is it the upper piece that goes to the? So,
So where the little dump sites are, like the containers, the just the containers where people dump, that's Drummond. And then the animal stuff is. Yeah,
so we own from that well,
yeah, it's hard to tell on,
but I guess kind of looking at it.
yeah.
Okay, so would you? Is this piece right here what we're talking about? Can you come look? Oh, it's up there. Okay, I'm clicking on it. Yep. That's it.
That's it. But like a part of that is town and a part of it's county.
Cause like on the survey that. She's looking up those, Sarah's looking at those feeds. It like track one went from Granite County to Thompson Lumber. And then track two went from Thompson Lumber to Granite County.
Track, I mean, there's a clear deed that gives the initial 2 acres to town of Drummond.
Well, see, that's what I was wondering is, according to that survey, then Thompson Lumber must have deeded to the town of Drummond.
I think, no, I think when they deeded to county for whatever reason, which created this sort of weird dual ownership. It's almost like they just said, well, you know how they we're quit claiming all their interests in track 1 and 2 outlets, but they didn't have any interest. Cause that was owned by the town of Drummond. You know how they do that, Blanche? Where they just do like a basic deed that says, we're quit claiming all of our interests in track 1 and 2 outlets. Even though they don't have interest in track 1.
Okay, so like if this whole piece says the town of Drummond, according to the cadastral.
Yeah, I don't understand why the cadastral chose one over the other, but it clearly on the deeds, the one original 2 acres was given to the town. The additional 2 acres was given to the county. And I didn't see anywhere where the county transferred that back to the town. So I don't understand why they did it that way, but
So what you're saying is the cadastral actually is wrong. By saying the whole thing. Yeah, saying the
it
whole
should
thing.
say town of Drummond, Granite County. That's probably how it should be. Because it is one parcel, it's just dual ownership.
Okay, so
Yeah, it.
how is that when it was created, when two parcels were created in 94? How did it go back to one parcel?
Well, it was created way back. The original piece to the town of Drummond. Way back, like when, like one of the guys that, you know, from the original town created that piece. And then the boundary line relocated onto it. And I don't understand why they did it the way they did it. But
We'll do that survey.
yeah, blame us not being here yet.
No.
Cause I did give him all the deeds and stuff that I had.
He's gone, he's out of town, picking up his kid and.
Oh, he just sent me the map.
Yeah, I did give him a copy of all the deeds.
I just don't know why we can't just all agree and then just get a lease and build something on it, move ahead. I don't know why this has gotta be such a big.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You know, I mean, what we wanna do is if they can sign off on a lease for so many years that we can actually make it better, put a bathroom in there and move on. It's both of them, that's all we wanted, that and a lease that guarantees us that if we're, I'll put it there, that we're gonna have proper years we move. It ain't that hard, is it?
Where's the exact line from the scales to the? Well, I mean, where is that exactly at?
Well, that's we have somebody come in and do it, I mean, they're spending
Maybe it's already-
$1,500 on that, they could be putting.
Right, I was saying.
That's the whole thing, you know, and we can have hands come in and look at it, and we, it's the whole thing, everyone, but nobody has signed a lease. You just,
Why won't they?
I don't know, that's. I don't know, Blaine's not here, that, he's dealing with them, but I mean, I just wanna get a lease so we can move ahead, now it's gonna be too late, we won't get nobody more this summer. You know, we keep waiting and waiting.
Well,
So what?
I think-
So yeah, so.
And then they
Yeah.
have this done, this town had this done, a retracement, I guess, or is it boundary adjustment? Retracement, yeah, they had a retracement
But you just kept the damn.
page.
Yeah, but you can, like, on this. So this original 1.9 acre tract. Was given to the town of Drummond. By,
Okay, so what does this mean when we did the survey? Are these,
well, this is him giving you tract 2.
right? And then we given him track 1. How can we do that if
I
town of
don't-
Drummond owns it?
So let's see here.
And then there was an easement.
Yeah, technically, you shouldn't have been able to transfer that one.
So it never was transferred then?
It shouldn't have been transferred to this guy. I don't know if it ended up, this is at Pelican Lumber. Between Granite County and Thompson Lumber. Is there a third one that gives it right back to the county?
So well, she's trying to look up the chain to see where Thompson Lumber got it.
This tract is that the one to the town? This one?
No, this is an easement.
Oh, okay, cause there is one for that to the town. I mean, it is as clear as day to the town.
So it's that, but that is. Look at that,
Yeah, it doesn't look the same.
they did a
It's
relocation, how did they
They
relocate
did
it?
this. What, see, look at that.
Yeah,
That's all that is.
how do you do that? You created,
Yeah,
All right, Joe Bear, back in 90, no. Is
But
it,
like you can see on this one, this is the original
Yes.
parcel, the old boundary, they're picking this up. And they clearly say they're gonna give that to Granite County, which they do.
Yeah.
But this piece isn't Granite County's.
and then according to the cadastral. Which it doesn't even look like this survey on the cadastral. It's cattywampus kind of, you see?
Is that up there?
Yeah. It's not even describing this.
It chunks a bit here somewhere. Up on, oh, down
Unless
at the bottom,
Unless I'm backwards, am I backwards?
no,
No,
Okay,
it's got an arrow cut.
Yeah.
there. Which,
I think we're gonna have to look into it a little more here and see if we can get that other stuff from.
I guess.
so what we need is what chain of title for that property? How did the survey come of record and the deeds come of record if they're not any good? Because Thompson Lumber didn't own it and Granite County didn't own it?
Yeah, I mean, I could not find anywhere where the town of Drummond transferred that parcel to the county. But they've always owned that, so
So how did Thompson Lumber feel they owned it?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and I'm talking tract 1 on there.
Yeah.
Tract 2, they did own, so,
Track 2, Thompson Lumber did own.
That's the one they gave to the town.
and that's the one that
And
they.
they- so- This is actually
That part's legit up there. I
legit
think. Yeah,
That's county.
county.
yep,
And they've
It's-
got, and when you look at it, that looks like this piece right here. So they've got it on the cadastral as the town of Drummond.
but you can see like on the cadastral, they have. This little bit on there too. Or that little bit, maybe that's the problem, is that little bit is sitting
Yeah,
right
right there. That's what it looks
there,
like
and
to me.
it's not on there.
Do you see how the survey lines up at the very top up here
Mhm.
with that? So they're saying that this tract is owned by Drummond and it's owned by the county, actually. Would you
Right,
say?
but when you look at the cadastral. Or at the property, this piece looks to be sitting. I don't know, all I know is that for sure is. I'd have to look at all of that again, cause I just gave the stuff.
So legitimately,
But we're gonna have to,
it's a mix.
yeah, we're gonna have to look into it a little more and we're gonna have to move on here, but we'll have to figure out who owns what and. How it got, whatever.
Yeah, well, this survey's,
That survey
It's
doesn't look
bogus.
good on
Yeah.
any of it.
it's taken,
So I guess we'll just have to, we're gonna have to table this and look into it a little bit more and see what we can figure out in the needs and stuff.
Yep.
All the time.
Hey,
Who owns what, this always can get a lease and then so we can.
do something.
Always put a bathroom on there, but it's like, one time everybody's worried about who owns what, and saying about where the well is, like. It's just turned into a bigger headache than it should have. If we could just leave sweet pea toilets.
Yeah. We people.
They're trying to make it better, now it's become a big.
Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, all you do is say, yeah, go ahead and do it.
Right,
So anyway, what else you have to be following, but thanks, Linda.
that's all I got, other than we were gonna. Talk about that deer dog deal that's on there,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's not gonna work. Especially no matter what the price is, it wouldn't work with a 3-year deal,
No,
so.
no way we can do it. Sure.
No, hell no. So what all I got on that?
I guess we're just sending a letter. Sending a letter back to telling them that it's just not gonna work out. You agree on that?
Can't pay more than we're paying now to,
I'll entertain, well, we don't need one.
I'll work with Blaine on.
You're gonna send them a letter, just looking at it, it's just not feasible for us, so. Anyway, what else you got? Anything else on the solid waste?
That's it.
Your update to your policy. Other thing,
I don't,
it was very minute changes. I think it was corrections. That Lynn pointed out. I think there was hours of operate. It was all very minute little things.
we just need to approve this after the changes.
Mhm.
I'll entertain a motion to.
What were the changes?
There was like
Had
that,
the wrong hours on.
that
Yeah,
was,
all the same hours, like down the different up here.
Oh,
there were all little things. like
yeah, I'm
that.
not trying to change anything.
No, it was just little
It was- yeah.
corrections. Yeah.
We need to wait for her. You know what,
You need a motion for what?
the Granite County Solid Waste District Policy and Procedure Plan.
Oh, to accept it.
And the clock ticks.
Huh? We're on this, Granite County Solid Waste District Policy with the
Okay.
changes and that, and
Are we good?
wait for a motion, so.
I'll make a motion to accept the Granite County Solid Waste District Policy and Procedures Manual.
I'll second it.
Any public comment?
Elena.
None, all in
Oh,
favor?
Elena has a
Aye.
comment.
Aye. Motion carried.
So on
Do
that,
I sign this then?
Yeah, there's two spots. Elena has a comment.
Oh,
on that legal
I
description,
didn't.
the town of Drummond deeded to Grant County.
What's that?
Town of Drummond deeded to Granite County.
So we only have these.
When they do that?
In 94 or 93.
And they're not paying garbage?
Well, we're gonna follow it through and chase it out. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead, Elena. The map was covering you up, sorry. My bad.
Okay, well, I still see the screen share. From
Well-
Blanche's screen, okay. Now, on the other thing is, I guess you're ready. I don't know what you're doing. You were talking about the lease for the dumps, and that was tabled. And I didn't see that on the agenda. And the other thing, now you're talking about the policies and procedure manuals for Granite County Solid Waste. It's 13 pages. And it just says originally adopted 2011. By resolution. What was the resolution? Then there was a revision in 2017, a second, what were revised? I mean, then there's a fourth one, which is today. 13 pages of this, but there's no reference to the other resolutions. Oh, it'd be nice to see the resolutions regarding this. When you do something like this, and this is my opinion, that's how you lose records. Who's on first, who's on second. Just like you can't figure out who property is what to lease the dumps at. So, and even the towns are confused. They have to find their records. It's amazing. It's scary to know that you can't find public documents on boundaries and property. But maybe when you do something like this with this solid waste district, you just make reference to this. And when all these changes, when, apparently things were changed, but what?
Okay, well, thank you for your comments.
Oh, you're welcome, I'm sure.
Don't be rude. I was thanking you. That's why you get some.
we need to say aye.
Aye. Carried and passing.
I'm leaving.
No, I don't think so. I just said, no.
I'll call you later about
it's
garbage,
okay.
moving stuff.
I guess you'll take care of
Braun.
that basement crap or whatever.
Yeah.
So on this solid waste weekly report, Granite County Solid Waste Policy Update. So it's on the agenda about the solid waste policy update, discussion and decision. We decided to accept the update on the Granite County solid waste. This is for Elena's information. And it was already approved by the county attorney as to content. So I think we are pretty legitimate in what we're doing right now and accepting the update for the solid waste policy.
And Blaine said, Mayor Reddish wants to meet with me on Thursday to discuss the lease. I won't negotiate at all, but we'll hear his concerns. We've done everything. So we can move on. All righty. Thanks.
Yep, we'll see you guys later.
Okay,
Going into the dam tender report, Georgetown Lake. We got the new dam tender, got one in right away.
and who is our new dam tender?
Jared
Kruger,
Kruger.
and I'll give you his phone number. Actually, I have a card for you.
It's on the third page there, I just put everything in the book. Okay, and the lake's sitting at 12.72 inches, whoa. 30 going out.
Okay, so. Discussion. This is after our discussion last week. When I was visiting, when we were discussing with John Grooms on the snowtail, and I said that it was at 158%, and that was looking at the month of March. He was saying he was basing his information for the whole year. And what he was saying, the snowtail for the whole year wasn't up to 100%. And then he gave me a phone call and was explaining to me just what needs to be done. And he said that lake needs to be filling faster than what it is. It needs to be full to work more efficiently. And on that note, the 30, I feel right now, we need to fill the lake right now. And this is on several people giving me their opinion. So I don't know. It's like they're all coming at once. One says one thing and one says another thing, and one says this and one says that. But it makes sense to me that we maybe need to lower the water to get the water coming out to get it full so that it's a healthier lake.
Fine.
All of the hydrodynamics. Last night there was 7 inches of snow, heavy wet snow at my house. Car stuck in a flat drive. That's how wet. We went up 6 tenths in less than 24 hours yesterday on the inflows. Our average inflow in the last 2 weeks has been at 36 CFS. So more's coming in that's rolling out right now in the last 2 weeks. You know, Blanche, I think this guy here is the only guy we should listen to. You know, he's a hydrologist, he runs a model for us, and these guys have always done a great job. I'll go back to the meeting we had with FERC. Your own engineer, Jeremy.
Jeremiah, I'm sorry.
When they were coming, they said they were gonna come in late May. His comment was, we're probably gonna be going over the spillway because of the snowpack. There's no reason we should ever go over the spillway. The water content at Peterson Meadows right now is at 15 inches, which is 3 inches above normal. All right, we're at 127% above normal right now.
Where do you get your information?
From my engineers that log
From
in,
your engineer?
they log in, your engineer said the same thing. You know,
Remember to tell you that.
well, it's probably on her notes, you can go right to it. And then the guy from FERC said, oh, that's okay, we could look for fish tails and things like that going to the spillway. We need to be, in our opinion right now, we better be at 40 CFS going on.
Oh, what?
40 CFS going out right now. We're good, what, okay, for who reimburses the people of this county and the people I work for when water's going over that spillway? Nobody. Nobody, and when that water.
What
blows
the hell
over
is
that
spillway
spillway-
for?
Huh?
What's
It's
it
for
for?
emergency, it's for uncontrolled releases, it's not for, oh, here, let's send it over that. It's for uncontrolled releases.
What?
Ask him. Ask Mike what the spillway is for.
Yeah,
It's for uncontrolled release. It's not for, let's do what we think is right until it goes over.
so you think that you can adjust the level of the lake to within an inch? Cause we gotta have a full lake.
We could have done it a month ago.
No,
Could have. Now we can't catch it. We're going over. I guarantee it, we're going over. We cannot catch it. You know how warm it's gonna be in the next week?
Can we take that off of there, Billy? Cause I can't see when the people are,
Look on the side, I put it up there.
oh,
I'm just showing a comparison
oh,
from.
I can see stuff.
And we've got the hand raised.
That's why I
See.
didn't see it. Go ahead. Oh, sorry, I just.
Have you looked at the weather for the next week at Georgetown Lake?
well, yeah, it's supposed to get warm,
Sunday, 70
Finally.
degrees.
huh?
70 degrees almost on Sunday. Tomorrow we start
So-
at 55 DK, it's gonna be just a mad rush of water coming down there, it's not a soak. You seen our roads?
And you think you're gonna fill 13 inches with?
Definitely, what's coming out of the mountains, definitely. There's no catching. You know, and-
So if
and
Warm Springs isn't up to normal for the year,
It's not,
did you say that? Warm Springs was not, it was like 98%.
No. I wasn't saying, it was the snow tail that we're looking at from. That said for the month of March at 158%. All I was doing was saying that Mr. Grooms was stating that. He was banking his information on a year and I was banking my information on a month, where he was saying it was less than 100% for the whole year. And I was saying it was at 158%
Pretty much.
for the month of March.
Right, so for the whole year. Well, why should we do it on a month?
I really,
That's what we've always done. If I was, we usually get the stuff every month. This year we're gonna get.
We can have 3 dry months and then have a wet month, and then you think you got a little.
what, Wormsby's at 107% right now.
so may I make a comment? When you look at the graph and it's up on the screen, you can see like yesterday how far down it was.
Mhm.
And when it's up to now, it went up. It went from,
Okay, so we gained about an inch. I measured 7/10 of an inch of moisture at my place. Okay, so that's almost what fell, what you see right there, to me, is almost what fell from the sky, and now it came in. On a creek or anything.
Mhm.
So that's a big increase right there.
I don't think we could base it on your property, what's coming.
No, I know you can't. I mean, that's just an example.
I think we need to have a motion. I forgot to ask what you guys should think.
Can we do a happy medium?
Whatever you want, I don't know what.
No, what do you suggest? Well, how do you feel?
I was still thinking leaving that 30. I don't know how that's.
Can I read Todd's report here?
Today's report from me?
This is from April 12th.
Yeah,
And
I just read that.
And,
But we're,
He
just
said-
let us get emotions, cause then we can
okay,
do the. That's, I should have done that. So. Anthony, go ahead.
Okay, you say 30, you keep it at 30. Your reasons
I just think,
being,
just with the moisture and the snow and the rain and it's up to you guys too. It's not just
Yeah.
on me. I'm just seeing what, I didn't know we need more motion there and what Chuck thinks.
well, can we get a comment from Ed? He's got his hand up.
Yeah, go ahead. See, I think whether we see that, we'll be able to.
It can- I'm sorry, I'll get rid of this. I just wanted
No,
to
that's a,
make a point here.
but we,
Hello, can you hear me?
yep, go ahead. State your name and.
Yeah, I'm Ed Simonich. I'm on the Dam Advisory Committee and a homeowner at Georgetown, but I just wanted to comment that I agree with Blanche that we ought to fill the lake. I just talked to Todd Blythe this morning. And he reiterated that inflows are in the range of 21 to 26 CFS. And the lake is now down below where it was last year at this time. And I think if you go back and look at the snow tells and all that, you will find that maybe we're about the same as we are last year. I recognize it's going to get warmer. I know the snow on my property here in Butte anyway, all the moisture is going into the ground, nothing's running off. So I would recommend that you go back to 25 to match inflows until and I think there's a requirement to be at 29.5 by May 1st, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. So that's all I have to say. I would recommend following Todd's advice, and I guess I'd be voting with Blanche to lower it a little bit. Thank you.
This is Chuck. That's exactly what I've been saying all winter.
Oh, Chucky.
It is. It is. Isn't it?
Okay, so I agree that we have.
Water
to
going
go
into the ground.
Last year at that, oh, that's.
Here I have. it.
Well, I had it up. I had the year thing.
2023 and inspection reports. In April. April 26th meeting. Hold on.
What were we releasing last year?
What's that?
What were we releasing last year?
Six.
Last year, it takes us to,
Six.
yeah,
Yeah, we were still.
and we barely filled it.
We were at
That's
64.
everybody that I talked to,
28.62.
other than you, that's what they say. They agree with
And
me.
you know, this is the only guy,
Huh?
this is the only guy we should listen to, it's not about. Because. Being at 6. In January, February, March, you guys complain about not making any money, that's why. And we have always on, I can bring it, I would love to take you guys to the hydro. I'll show you our average releases. For all winter long, for the last 12 years, except for the last 2 years, we're up 25-30%, we keep running. We can control it then. Then we can turn down and let more water come in. And the county makes a lot more money.
Okay, last year-
19th of 2022, we were at 64.28 or 11.4. As of today, we're 64.28, 44, 12.17.
So 6428.64 is what it was April 25th. April 25th. And 6428.44 is what it is now. And. Okay. I think that a motion should be made that we drop it to 20, watching it. For the next couple of weeks, or for the next week until the next week, just to see. What happens if it gets to the point where you're saying it's coming over the spillway, then we need to get a hold of Scott. Or Scott can get a hold of one of us.
It's
and-
not gonna
and
go,
get it.
it's go away in a week, if we're letting out 20. Yeah, it's gonna get warm. You're gonna raise it 12 inches, the whole lake in 12 inches in a week.
No,
Huh?
we're not, but we should not be at 20. We better match inflows minimum.
Well, we'll see what happens in a week, I
Well,
guess,
Todd says there's 21 coming in.
then 21 goes out.
The average the last 2 weeks of 36. Coming in. The average the last 2 weeks.
How do you know that?
Cause I trust my people.
Huh?
That's why, I work, engineers is who I work with, they tell me what's coming in, what's going on, I can look it up. You can look it up. You know, we as a group need to educate all of us.
So you wanna go in between 20 and 30.
No, I'm just saying be sacrament.
20?
20.
No, second.
All in favor?
You don't wanna,
All in favor?
Hi. This is watching it, but what,
Opposed? I oppose. I think we're really screwing up.
A 2 week average is what you can tell, that's.
You know, we've done this before too, and the next thing you'll have grooms in here about his dock.
Yeah.
And all that crap again, you know, and what he said about me to a person. And it's, you know, I don't need that shit from him. Grooms. I don't care, you know, you guys got it, you got it at 20, and I think it's a big mistake. We'll move on.
And one other comment, if that lake gets too full, then the septic fields get flooded, and then next thing you know, all that's in the lake too. There's a little health and safety thing over here too. When we grooms and the Stokey, remember when we went over, everybody was all, you know,
They were gonna sue us, sure.
yeah,
I don't forget that stuff.
yeah.
I hope he's listening.
Okay, I remember that year well. And we were gonna bring that up and let it go over the spillway on purpose, remember that? But then we got like 8 inches of rain in 2 weeks, 4 inches a week. I mean, it rained like crazy, cause I measured. And that's what put it way up over, is that rain, it was a big 2 weeks of rain. But we were bringing it up to the spillway anyway. That's a whole different story than we're at right now, if we're almost 13 inches below.
Okay. You're dropping that to 20.
Okay, all right, I'll get a hold of this Jared, and if he wants to meet me up there at the dam, I can go over some stuff with him.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah,
Help him.
I think he's planning to go up there and kind of do an inspection, I think tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
but what about the O2 sensor?
I forgot. That's what, I forgot about that. Brian, or whatever his name was.
Brandon's gonna pass a bunch of equipment off to Jared.
We get that, we need to have somebody look at it and knows if it's,
Okay,
you know,
no,
we need to have somebody look and see.
And
if it's
calibrate it.
updated and work good and used or whatever.
yeah.
Cause it's fairly new too, isn't it?
I have
Yeah,
no
Bill
idea
West,
about
Bill
it.
West out here. So,
Yeah,
all right, well, you guys have a great day, okay? Okay, bye-bye.
thank you for your input.
Have a good night, thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to Meadow Creek LLC boundary line adjustment appeal decision discussion.
Linda coming down.
I don't know. Want me to call her?
What?
Yeah,
So we can adjust that day by day anyway, so I mean. If something happened,
well, that's why I said that, can we watch it and see? I also. Yeah, you guys, we've got so many coming in with different opinions that it's really tough to make a decision. But I actually feel that we have to go
Hey,
right.
Brian, what's your deal with this? Stuff?
You must be on the phone.
Can you call in?
Did you get hold of
She must be on the phone.
Yeah, that Meadow Creek boundary line there. He sent a letter. Did you see the letter he sent?
Yeah, it went to Blaine. That is
Oh, okay.
an email from Blaine. Or to Blaine.
Table it again?
I think we need to make a decision. I think it's a,
Okay, would you please, because I'm in the middle of it. I got one, yeah, bye.
what's your opinion, sir? Please,
Blaine's gonna call in.
do you have one?
I do.
Come on up, Tom. We're on it, so. State your name and.
Tom Rue,
Oh, he's calling in on my phone. Maybe right here. Hi, Blaine.
hello, this is Blake.
Hi, Tom Rue is giving a public comment right now, so, but you're on speaker.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead, Tom, sorry.
That's fine, Tom Rue Hall. Member of the planning board, I'm not here for the planning board. However, it's interesting, I don't know whether there's any precedent for something like this, and I think it would set a very strange precedent, for something like this. I'm actually surprised, and I asked Linda a little bit about this, but, I don't know where this has happened before in the state. I think what was done was a division of land, and the way I've always understood, the subdivision planning act is that anything over 160 acres in size or an adequate park is a division of land. And my concern is when you exchange one for a subdivision per se, or what's attempted to be done. The end product lacks the review that so many of us are responsible for, especially you three. No consideration for roads, sanitation, building zones, etc. Neighborhoods, you know, we've got all those things that come into effect when we sit and look at these things upstairs and try and filter them down for you guys to make a decision on. We try and do a lot of the hard work before it comes to your desks. Hope we do, but if something like this were allowed to pass, a lot of that would be not even considered, and your decision, glad it's yours, but I think it's a tenuous one.
Okay, may
Go
I, I'm
ahead,
just
Glenn.
saying that we've been given a couple weeks and now they want a couple more weeks. I feel that, your points are very valid points. And I still feel right now that we needed to make a decision, what, a couple weeks ago, and say that, hey, you do a subdivision, not a boundary adjustment. That's how I feel. It's the evasion of subdivision regulations, and that go out there and do your subdivision. Don't try to create little parcel or take legal descriptions and deeds and put them wherever you want to on a piece of ground.
I agree. Comment, Blaine?
My advice is to, we're getting, into a dispute over kind of procedure basically here, and I'd rather get to the substance of it. So I think, my advice would be to have Linda review it again and do a determination letter, and we do a public hearing on the appeal if it's the same decision that Linda made. So that way we're not getting into a dispute over process, we're just getting to the substance of it. So that's my advice.
Is it a dispute or is it just the way it should have been done? I'm not trying to make a big argument out of this either, but it just seems like all of a sudden they come in and they can just think they can just do whatever they want. That's the way I'm reading it.
Okay, so here's the question. The appeal was a couple weeks ago. They appealed it and then we tabled it to give them time to regroup, I guess, or you guys weren't sure.
Yeah.
And so there hasn't been anything new come in front of Linda's on her desk saying that these are the changes they're gonna make. I'm saying it's still an evasion. I'm thinking we should say your appeal was already here 2 weeks ago. You failed to come forward 2 more weeks after that, and you want to delay it more just because someone's out of town and can't. I'm sorry, I think that they need to do a subdivision. That's how I feel.
Yeah, basically.
Well, the only thing I'd say there is they did provide the new COS after Linda did the original letter. So we are in a little bit of a gray area under the subdivision regulations. I don't see we're another 2 weeks is gonna cause any issues at all. That would be my point. That's my strong advice.
Yeah, I think I agree with one. They look for another 2 weeks.
But then that comes and then it'll be another 2 weeks. It just seems like it'll go longer than because they're trying to find out why isn't somebody here today that Jenkins or whatever. I mean, he's the one that represented, he come in here and all hour hungry there. Why isn't he here today?
All right, I don't know the answer to that, why people are gone.
Well, I mean, I guess.
Oh, wait, he's online on Zoom. I was making minutes. I didn't see him. My apologies.
Are you on?
Hold on, Ken's connecting right now. I apologize. I didn't see him waiting when I was typing.
Can we have Linda down here?
Yep, let me give him the ability to connect and I can't call Linda. On the phone here.
What's her number?
It is, I only know her extension.
All the time, one of the guys, they're gonna just have
Oh, yeah.
some face come down.
Are you looking for Linda?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I think Ken should have the ability to connect.
Sorry.
Still trying to connect, but
Where's, Linda's here now, Blaine. We're sitting there, Blaine's
Okay.
thinking we should wait for 2 more weeks for this. Did you see the new letter?
No, well, I mean, I saw the letter that came in
Last night?
Oh, no, I did not see the letter that.
there was an email from Dave Sampson that went to Blaine.
Yeah, I have.
He's reading the letter, if you take a second. I guess Ken's on.
Did he get connected? I don't know if it says he's on, he has co-host abilities to mute and unmute, but I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So they just want 2 weeks? But does, if Blaine say that's good, then?
Well, we just gave him 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I mean, this just seems like it just gets moved out more and more. I mean, when do we stop and say this is what we asked to have? We have no comment to just that letter. Why isn't somebody here to represent them or? It's just to the point that.
My question is, that letter to you, does that say, okay, give us 2 more weeks, we're gonna really turn it into a boundary adjustment? Or are we need 2 weeks to clarify the fact that it's a boundary adjustment and we say it's evading subdivision regulations?
Yeah, I mean, essentially it says, meanwhile, I would like to take the extra time. To have Ken Jenkins and Chris Johnson, I don't know who that is, to work with. Blaine and I, so we can comply with county and state criteria. To put forward a compliant application for the final consideration. That's really, I guess, the whole, what it's gonna come down to is. Is it a way to make it a compliant boundary line adjustment? In my opinion, there isn't. I mean, what they have put on. I mean, I still stand that that's evasion and. This is the whole, I guess, Blaine can step in, but to me, this is the process. I say that it's evasion, it comes to you, you guys either say yay or nay, it is or it isn't, and it goes. One of the 2 routes, it goes towards subdivision or it goes towards. The clerk of recorders of files. But I don't know, I guess it doesn't. It never hurts in these processes to give extra time to allow them to try to
Convince us that it's a boundary adjustment?
present. Their argument, especially since you haven't seen or heard from the actual property owner yet.
So you're thinking,
I'd give them the 2 weeks. I'd err on the side of caution.
I trust you, I mean, this is your professional, I mean, Tom, but I guess, it just seems like they just keep,
People can,
yeah. And like, they're trying to find something else to bring in and then that, and I think it's an invasion too. But if you think we should give them 2 weeks, I guess that's,
What-
Chuck's agree too, he was saying. I'm not speaking for him, but, but I guess, I'm just tired of it, just keeps running on and on, especially not to be here to represent themselves,
Well, I can say
that
both,
frustrates me.
I can say both sides, I can see your side too, but, I just think. Give them 2 weeks and then
I mean, how do you see their side? That their side is they're gonna convince us that this is a boundary adjustment, they all meet. And the boundaries all fit together. And he took all these legal descriptions and put them right down here in this nice little. app. Doesn't look that way.
Let them try.
So I guess that, what, go ahead, oh,
I
he's
asked a question to Linda.
this second, you're right.
I was gonna ask you a question, Linda. Originally, they submitted a plat, put them in the 160s, correct?
No, they never.
Well, they didn't have to submit because they just would get supported.
They have, yeah, they have done 160s on the country. So they, I mean, not on this. So
So, just so I understood, so that if I could, so they submitted a plat to put it back into, to aggregate those down to the smaller tracks. And you kicked it back.
no, so the Bornson Ranch, they did 160s on, but this one they never done anything on. These were just parcels that came the way they came.
I guess my question was, I thought maybe there was, they were thinking that there was an inclination to approve it, and they were trying to modify their plat to go into compliance. That seemed to be something that's said here. So there's some sort of compliance that we're missing, or that
Well, and that's, I think, on this first letter where Ken Jenkins is talking, you know, that. I never told him submit a new plat that brings it into compliance. I mean, you have my original letter. It says submit a subdivision and bring it into compliance. Or go to the commissioners with an appeal. Those are your two roads you can take. He submitted in a new plat saying it was in compliance. My position to Ken was, well, no, I don't believe that you did submit what I asked you to, which is the subdivision. So this goes to the commission. This is your part of your appeal. He says, well, I never asked for appeal. So and you never declared the second plat evasion. I can write a second letter that says the second plat is evasion. And if you want to appeal, you need to go to the commissioners to appeal. So I mean, I think that's what we're on, is a process point, but on the flip side of that, things fail in court on process points. So I am more than happy to send a second letter saying the second plat you submitted is still, in my opinion, evasion. You still have the two options: submit a subdivision, submit an appeal. And
Let's do that. I don't, you're professional on this, I'll take your advice. You were good with that, Blaine?
Yeah, that sounds good. I think that, I don't see the 2 weeks as us giving in. It would give us more time to potentially work with them as well to get it right. And talking with Powell County, I asked them what they would do under this situation. They're like, yeah, I mean, we would try to sit down with them and work out a reasonable.
But we're making all the changes and everything here to work with them, and there's nobody here to even.
What is
I
Ken
guess
Jenkins
that
on Zoom?
frustrates me. If it's that big a deal, they should have been here.
Okay, so what we're missing here is due process.
I mean,
That's
Ken
what
Jenkins.
I'm saying. Don't even give it
Okay, so
have
they
that be an
appealed,
issue, basically.
they appealed,
That's Ken's position. We didn't ever appeal. So it's like, okay, I'll send a second letter saying you're evading, and you can formally put in a
Okay.
request to appeal.
so they appealed, we tabled it for 2 weeks. It's on the agenda, they want 2 weeks more. So in that 2 weeks more, give them their letter, second process is still evasion.
Yeah.
And then go from there. Does that
Okay.
sound?
Sounds good. Do we have to make a motion on that, or?
And I guess I
Yeah,
just
that-
have one question for Blaine real quick. In the second letter where it says, I don't know who Chris Johnson is, but. I would take the extra time to have Ken Jenkins and Chris Johnson. Work with Blaine and I on getting this into compliance. This just can't come into compliance the way it is. I just feel like I'm being put in this impossible situation. His options are to go for an appeal or bring in a subdivision. I shouldn't have
Yeah.
anything more to do with Ken Jenkins until you guys have said it's an official appeal or it's not, It means, that's
Yeah,
my position.
That's acceptable. Yeah.
All right. right.
And I'd do a motion,
Elena's
but
got,
it goes back to.
Elena's got a comment.
We have a motion.
Or no, hold on, let's make a motion first. Then we take up the comment.
So how would the motion, I make a motion that Linda sends the second letter. In the process of his appeal 2 weeks ago, saying it's still, in your eyes, evasion of subdivision regulations.
And then you table this
And table this,
for 2 more weeks.
we're not gonna give them till 6 months down the road where they, no. We can't give them all the time they need. To try to keep saying, well, it isn't, I want to appeal. Okay, I'm big wordy, sorry.
Okay, do I have a
Yeah, I
second?
second that motion, not the last one.
Yeah. Public comment. Elena?
Thank you. Ken may be on the phone. If you look at the last 3 digits of a telephone number, 033, that may be him and he's waiting to be unmuted. The reason why I'm saying that is on the bottom of the letter, he said his telephone number is 406-721-4033.
And
So
he
why
can-
don't you find out who that is on 033, identify himself, and then see if that's him waiting to say something. Thank you.
We can read and we see that, we try to open it up. Thank you for your comment. We
No,
don't
you-
need to treat it like that. Mute her. That's 2 comments. are just out
Well,
there.
didn't you give him opportunity to open him up to talk?
His, so he got on as Ken and I gave Ken co-host ability, so he should be able to chat in and unmute from there. So if he did call in for audio, he should be able to chat if
We're
he's
just
not
gonna
able to
move on,
unmute.
Billy. Thank you, good job. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're moving on. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Don.
Thanks,
Thanks, Blaine.
Thanks, Blaine.
yeah, thank you.
All right, we're going to this 1010 resolution 2023-5, resolution the county for unanticipated federal ARPA. Local assistance and tribal assistance funds to receive during 22-23 fiscal year and amending the Granite County budget resolution number 22-10, second reading and adoption.
I make a motion, we accept resolution 2023-5.
I second it.
Public comment, just on this resolution 23-5. Being none, all in favor?
Did you have a public comment?
Oh, no, I was gonna give you an update on the LTCF and the second strength, because we haven't gotten that yet, and I keep calling them to find out when we're gonna get it. So and Bill emailed when, and so it's just, it comes sometime in calendar year 2023. And I'm thinking, because I did some more reading on it, and I'm thinking it's because, so all the counties and the, that could get this money, they had until the end of February to request it. If they didn't do it by that time, then they don't get it. So I'm thinking that's why it's taking a little while, because they might be recalculating things for the monies that didn't go out to those places, the ones that didn't request it.
And
that
we
maybe-
got ours in, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we've already put in our first report, and yeah, we're all good to go to get it. I thought it might, so I was, we might get one we want.
Okay, so in that instance, then on this resolution. There's 1,303,200 that is sitting in there right now. So are we correct in amending the budget to 2,006,000?
So, I mean, we are gonna get it, I just don't know when we will. It is allocated to us. It is,
Well, I don't know if I guess we might get it before the end of the fiscal year. Okay, all right, so as is, it's,
So we didn't get any of it yet,
We got the first
yeah, we
million.
got a million.
so could we spend something?
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting worried here.
Oh, no, we, and we.
So we're anticipating this.
We're
Yes.
anticipating another million.
Yeah.
It just, we don't know when we're gonna get it.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
gonna come in sometime in the calendar year of 23, could be
Yeah.
in this fiscal year. So,
And what this resolution is for unanticipated, and now we're anticipating.
right,
So
and
we're
for this list so
Yeah.
that we can, so, and then. So that little bit that you wanted added into, that you requested added into the exhibit A about the balance. That isn't being done, so we're, the way that Blaine and I hadn't really taken a good look at it, because it was on my phone and I couldn't really see it, but it said remainder to the general fund, the 906-400 public safety and general purpose. But we have a fund that the ARPA.
Actually, it shouldn't be to the general fund.
Right, that's what
Yeah.
I,
It
wanna make
should
sure.
be, it should be a line item, public safety and general purposes.
Yeah, and just
And-
keep it in the LATC's
Yeah.
ask.
And the
Okay,
one thing
perfect.
that we need to do in that fund
Mhm,
is do another line item with transfer out,
okay,
because you're gonna transfer out those
To-
various amounts to the
Right.
various funds.
and I've set up a different object so that I can
Yes.
track it because,
Yes.
and I've done it just in supplies and in the capital outlay, because we do mostly capital outlay in the road department, and the others are gonna be supplied, but I've got a separate object for that.
Yes.
Because I have to do reports on it every year,
Okay.
so we can,
Yeah.
so I can track it down.
All right.
Okay, perfect, that's.
And there's your comment, Chuck, where you said that we have to kind of keep track on what we spend it on. She has to do reports to send in what
Yeah.
we spend it on.
So,
It is
Yeah.
discretionary, but we
Right.
still have to.
Yeah, the
say
only
what
thing
spend
we
it on.
can't spend it on is lobbying.
no.
Basically. So, yeah, but they still want reports and they still want to know where, first. So,
Sounds good, thank you, appreciate
okay,
it.
okay.
We're gonna move on to NACO Public Land Research Center request for payment. This is coming from that Bryson, and he was saying that we said we'd do it, and she looked it up in a minute, we didn't say we'd give
No.
$1,000.
No, that's not, they said that. What if you Silverbow agreed to it or something like that? And we didn't answer. I mean, what difference does that make to us?
You don't have
You
to
know,
pay-
besides that, they shouldn't be getting it anyway.
Yeah, no,
Huh?
yeah, I didn't think so either. City, county governments didn't get it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
No, but I'm still against giving.
No, I am too.
I don't think they, he's saying these others do it, well, you know, they can do whatever they want, if we're against it, we're against it, that's it, there it goes. So,
Need a motion.
yeah, I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion not to pay the $20,000.
That we are not going to do the interlocal agreement,
Right.
Right.
right? Okay, I'll second it.
Any public comment on this? Being none, all in favor? It's been carried and passed, we're catching up here. I guess we caught up, sorry. I think we'll offer this a little bit.
Right. Yep.
All right, we're on the multi-county abatement regional inter-agreement opioid settlements. You want
If you want me to explain it, it's so confusing.
Mhm.
So Granite County has signed everything that we need to sign as far as all of the settlement agreements to get settlement money. So we've done all of that, and is how the money goes. The county gets a very, very tiny portion that comes to us. The majority of the money goes to the state. And the state has been cut up into abatement regions. And then there's an advisory council that oversees the money that goes to the state. And then there is an advisory council member from each abatement region on the council. And so the advisory council has already been formed. So in the abatement regions, now there needs to be an interlocal agreement put together. So these were drafted by Mako. And after that's done, the abatement regions can determine and make their governance structure. So if an agency like Healthy Granite County Network does a lot of prevention, if they wanted to apply for money from the state for a prevention project, they would have to complete an application for it, and then I think it goes to our abatement region board, and then they review it, and then it goes, it's like a lot of back and forth. So the interlocal agreement is for the region, and then you would have to select somebody to represent the county on the regional board. And I can tell you, I was on the call last week, it's almost all county attorneys, and I told Blaine that, I was like, yeah.
So what do we do?
So, if you want to review the interlocal agreement, you guys will need to review and sign that, and then appoint somebody to be the representative for Granite County on the abatement regional.
So that'd be Blaine.
Yeah, I think so. I would recommend Blaine. It was all county attorneys that were speaking. I don't know who else was in the meeting, but it was all county attorneys discussing.
What do you think? Excited, headache.
It's a lot of moving pieces.
So, what, make a motion to agree to the multi-county abatement region interlocal? Let the state decide. Get what we get. Okay, good.
So that was your motion?
That didn't sound like very.
And
More or
put
less.
Blaine as our representative?
Yeah.
No, I'll second that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Public comment? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
Fabulous. And then if, I think you have to sign it, and then I'll send it in to Mako, and they're getting all the signatures for those agreements amongst all the county. Where are we? Where, right there. You sign at the top, or wait, no, yeah. You know. Thank you.
Who gave us this?
The sheriff,
Who?
the sheriff.
This, I didn't.
Yes, it should be. I think it's in the back, because I think it's your last agenda item.
A lot of stuff is just stuff that's gonna go to waste.
Yeah. And I think,
Do they have that defib thing we were talking about?
I think so. I think it's on there. There's some stuff on the back. The more expensive stuff that I believe has serial numbers. I don't know anything about medical, but, oh. How do you say yes?
They have a clock too, right?
I don't know if they went about it.
What's the, when Monica said when they went and checked the ambulance, it's gone. The clock is.
I didn't want to see Collier. I didn't-
Let me look.
But we told her that-
In my emails with the
It
sheriff.
broke. It broke the back.
Until they got it fixed. But the, well, the clock is like $18,000.
Oh, I'm not saying that, I guess. Are we on or not?
You're on.
You can't loan this stuff. You have to give it to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just put down what he gave out, so that we know, we asked him whatever. I think really was loan, using some of that stuff was good, it had been used, so much of it's out faded. It shouldn't matter who it goes to, as long as it's saving somebody, who gives, yeah.
Yeah, it was going bad, I mean.
More than we. Oh, I'm gonna wait. On that.
I'm looking. I think they have it. I thought. Hold on.
Wait now, we gotta wait till 11.
11:15. 11.
Maybe, is that the same as a Zoll monitor? I don't know. Send me that. I gotta go back. Oh, no, that's the Zoll monitor. Excuse me.
Granite County Commissioner's Office.
Blanche, why are all the mics still muted? Have the different items been tabled? The 1040
They're not muted.
agenda item?
The mics aren't muted. I can see the microphone lighting up.
Oh, okay, because it's.
Maybe it's
Okay, I'll
yours,
check again. I'll check again.
maybe
Thank
it's
you.
yours.
Yeah, I did get an important call before, but so, fine, thank you.
So.
Pretty weird on that with solid waste, isn't
Yeah. So the link, there's a legal description that Linda's gonna read over that.
I don't know if they have a defibrillator. I just asked for an inventory list.
There's one deed that came from the mayor and from the clerk. And it's that legal description that they did a retracement. They retraced it and then deeded it. Grant County.
Might be good, might be bad. Well, it's just, all we wanna do is just get a lease and we know what's there, so we can put a building, so.
And I just, for this ambulance thing, I looked back at my emails. I thought I had asked them if they had the defibrillator, but I just asked everybody for an inventory list. And I don't see it on here, so I will follow up on that. And find the defibrillator.
So and then they, what, we're lending them the cot, not
The power cot.
that cot.
Yeah, you guys lent that out. What was that? 2 weeks ago, you lent that out.
And that was until they got. their
Until they
sticks
could
or-
replace it, or there was also because is how it got ruined was transporting an inmate. So I think there was going to be some sort of action to remedy that and reimburse the cost
And
of
then
a
we
cot
have that.
to Eagle,
Whatever it was that,
or to pursue reimbursing their
there's the
cost.
defib, right, and then that,
The defib I have to find. I don't know. It's not on the inventory list. So I need to follow up and find it. I didn't specify in my. I just asked for an
What's this
inventory
stuff?
list. I don't see a defib on here. That's what Commissioner Hinkle just asked me, if the defibrillator, where that's at, and I don't see it on here. So I went back in my email and I reread my email and I just asked for an inventory list. I didn't ask specifically about the
This
defibrillator.
is- no. It's not on loan, that we pretty much,
Yeah, and most of this is disposable equipment, right? Except the stuff with serial numbers. Maybe kind of, I don't know. And this I think is this from, I'm assuming this is from last year, because I haven't set a time up to go with her yet, where you guys said she could go in and look at stuff to purchase. I've not been contacted by or set up a time with her yet, so this was, I'm assuming, all previous to that.
We go off where it's coming in. As long as you guys are here, we might as well get started on this. Is anybody else coming in with you or? Okay, come on up, introduce yourself and. We're back on, right?
Yes,
All right, this is Lisa and Angela Campbell request a letter for permission to explain. County's business license rules for operating out of town limits. Discussion decision. Go ahead.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Yeah, so we need something stating that we don't have building inspections, electrical inspections. Fire inspections in the county for licensing business.
You're saying that we don't have that? You have to have that for the building. What kind of buildings?
They are high tunnels and it's sponsored high tunnel.
there's no business license in Granite County, there's no business licensing, there's no building permits in Granite County.
For fire, electrical inspections, well, we don't
I
have.
think electrical don't say that comes from the state. but-
There is, but there is no electric.
They're basically
I
just.
do know that.
It's,
It's gotta be.
yeah.
Do that, the fire things, I don't, that'd be up to. I don't know, I know people that, fire departments and stuff.
We can-
Sure that you got.
There
I
are,
don't know.
there are fire districts. there are, yeah.
They don't inspect though.
Clinton comes out.
For the building, new building.
Oh, no.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. We can get the fire inspection, but we couldn't do the building permits or anything like that, and it's for the DOJ, so they've got very specific parameters, so that we need the license.
When we just write a letter, then that we don't require, and
What was that letter we gave to Reese?
This is the exact same letter the one
did one up.
I provided in front of you. If you decide to move forward, that's the exact letter that you provided to Loretta. It's just adjusting for.
But these are three different ones, but they're all the same building.
No, separate
They're all
structure.
three different
And
buildings.
they all have, we had addresses assigned to each street.
they're all here.
Yeah, yeah. So that is building one, that structure's not up yet, but we want to have assigned an address to it. And then the building three.
What's not up?
The structure, portage, this wants it, this is the high tunnel, and this is one that's being put up.
So do we wait on that one before we approve something or say, or I don't know how this goes.
I think because we don't have any kind of licensing Grant County, go ahead and. Even before they put the building up, then they know that they're putting the building up and they know there's no license required.
There ain't nothing down here.
Well, these are our houses.
Yeah.
We've got our house here and girl's house here. But there's nothing, this is all garden and garden and garden and garden, so. There's no.
And you're just gonna work it out of here, and it's not gonna be transported and moved to somewhere else, is it all not? I mean, I don't know if I gave that side.
I don't know what I'm saying. Well, answer.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how all this works, so.
Well, I guess,
This is all new to us too.
entertain a motion on this.
Okay,
Do we have to do three motions or just being the?
I think. I would just,
One.
3 letters,
Mhm.
3 different buildings,
Okay.
so. Give a letter. From the commission. To explain that there's no licensing rules. For these buildings in Grant County.
Nice.
Any public comment?
I'd say no.
Being's none, I'll wait to see if I have.
Yeah.
Being's none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried, done.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Is that easy?
That was pretty easy. A lot easier than trying to research exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Looks like it's still winter up here.
Yeah.
And snow is finally. Of course, on Saturday, we had 4 inches of snow.
Got very wet this morning. And it's. Almost gone now, but there was a lot of it.
Was there?
I'll just give these all to you right now.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming up, appreciate it. Good luck.
Good business, good luck
Thank you.
with your enterprise.
Stay out of trouble.
Maybe we'll try. What? I can't get in any trouble anymore, Scott. I don't have a truck.
This is true.
Drive.
Huh? You got horse.
What? Yeah. There's
Back to the buddy system. Safer.
Hey, if you ever run across any second gen Dodge diesels, cab and chassis.
Good luck.
Yeah, I've got the engine, I just don't have the truck. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're gonna jump right into the FEMA letter dated concerning flood insurance rate map, discussion decision.
I talked to Linda about this. She said that, unless you guys wanted to pay an engineer to review it, and try to argue with FEMA about it, that, basically you don't have to do anything.
Well, under that, no, from Linda, I guess they don't do it.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of trouble going down.
Yeah, kind of what she said.
Next agenda item is Wayne and Susan Hale.
And Linda
They'll
will
be
be
on
on.
their end.
It's not tolerated.
What's this mean, that like when they're. You understand that, then I'm trying to read it when they're node on the. Where hails.
So they're just moving their footprint where their house is.
I'm trying to look there and then.
There's the
Building
existing building envelope.
What's that mean? You're making a smaller house or this? Yeah, it seems like they're learning about. It might be up to, you have to prove that?
You better talk to Linda.
So they're what, just shifting 12 feet to the north?
Hmm?
They're just shifting 12 feet to the north.
I mean, yeah, all it is.
I don't know what commission would have to have a say in it.
It's not up against the property line, is it?
So they're going up north. Right here, 1 feet. Okay, so they're going closer. You see the difference right here?
Mhm.
This is the new, the old one has more space between here, so they're moving it closer to their driveway. Makes sense to me. You see the difference?
This home from here, the
Here's the old one,
you know,
the room. And what we can drive on. 12 feet.
when they run the valley, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
So I guess what? Originally. On this subdivision. They had the building envelope on all the cracks. This is where you're gonna build. So they're changing it. I think. Linda. Question. So like Badger Bay.
Oh, is that up?
Yeah. It's gonna be.
Not till 11:30. No, you're fine. It's not till 11:30.
So on this one, is this what you're on right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've amended Badger Bay building envelopes before. So when the subdivision got done, everybody got a building envelope that they have to stay in. And we've allowed some of them to amend them and move them, and they're asking to move theirs back like 10, 20 feet,
12 feet back.
12
A bit closer to their driveway.
to their driveway, but not to the county road. So the county road sits quite a ways further. But it's also 12 feet further off the lake, so
Further away from the lake.
further away. So we're usually good with moving them that way. If they had asked for one this way towards the lake, we would have been,
No,
don't bother.
nothing happened.
Yeah,
Okay, that explains it. It's not up till 11:30.
oh,
I gave them your comments on the FEMA letter and they just.
yeah. I just let it go. Unless you wanna hire him an engineer for big bucks to review maps that they probably won't take your comments on. So. But I can come back at 11:30. I'm just going to report it. So
Oh, you're still working on the. How are we coming with that?
it's a mess. It's really a mess.
Hi.
So I'm just wondering on comments made on agenda items. Could there be comments made on how do we conduct a meeting? Is that even a valid?
I don't see why it is being made, because when we're doing everything that we're supposed to, we're following everything, it's not like. It's just. And then to disappear every time that we don't. That, you know, it's just that we're not doing it right, and that it just gets old, it's wasting our time to do it. You know, you gotta take comments, that's fine, but I can be a good comment instead of always, we're not doing this, don't do that, we don't, you know. Like, I mean, we follow the rules.
This will be the next thing they require. This will be the next thing FEMA requires us to do.
Oh, yeah, that's worse than the board. Were they coming in or calling in?
I have no idea.
Did that guy get that rig running when you were out there? Did you talk to
I
him?
don't think so, no, he left. We're gonna go. I don't think he got it. Who was that?
Some guy from Georgetown, right there. The other side. He had a tester, and well, he had jumpers on, and he had that computer thing on there, so. I mean, that's showing you right there, what if you need it.
And what,
Yeah.
the,
Right.
oh, searching this week. So it's out for bid, right?
It comes up next Tuesday. But there was a guy out there kind of jumping to get it going. Never did move it or anything, so I don't.
So with,
Not a lot of people crash out.
the Taurus, they would just switch batteries. His battery was,
I'm sure that one needs.
and it started right up.
And, you know, we told them that before, you know, we told you, we got the value. Well, we'll move on here, you know, a minute early, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into the Swain and Susan Hale's request to shift the building envelope on Badger Bay. Discussion decision. Do we need to call them or?
So Liz said she'd be down. They're working on that. Dump site and drum.
Yeah.
Doing a. Paint titles.
That solid waste things like a ball of
my God,
yarn and you
it's-
pull this string and it just keeps
It's-
coming. The one after that, though, I was never provided any of the information, so there's nothing for it.
Table that.
Well, Lynn didn't have a problem with this. So.
It seems like it. He said he agreeing with how they moved it towards the road, if it would have went the other way, then he probably would have, you know. I guess we're just entertaining a motion to accept the.
I'll move to accept the shift in the building envelope 12 feet to the north on lot 11. Badger Bay.
I will second it.
Any public comment on that? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried and passed. There's something we gotta sign or?
I think usually with this stuff, there's a letter that I draft or Linda drafts. And then I bring it to you to sign next week.
Okay, we'll move on to the placing that for drum and ambulance out for surplus bid. Discussion decision. My first opinion, I think we're gonna wait. We don't have no information or nothing, and just to put it out, Blaine said that you have to, if you put out the bid, you're supposed to put some kind of random bid on that. I guess we'll have to see how much it's worth and which one for sure they're doing. I just don't think nothing's in the one. That's. So we'll just put table that for, I guess we can put it on again next week and Call Frank and see if we can get an estimate on this. I mean, we just don't wanna give it away either. And then make sure this other stuff's going through. Okay, well, we'll jump ahead, legal ambulance loan of county equipment. A lot of this stuff that he's putting on here, I mean, it's stuff that it wasn't being used, Matt, the one stuff that I kind of really want to know about then is like, Monica said that cop was gone, well, we told her she could use it because she got hers fixed. We need to talk to Catherine on that, and then that other defibrillator thing.
And then the thing that we bought through the grant.
Is that defibrillator?
That's
No.
the Lucas.
Oh, no, what?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
The Lucas.
But
Well, I can't think of what the name, it's some kind of pack thing.
It's the Luke, it's on here. It's it is it's the Lucas 2, and it has a serial number with it.
Oh, well, I guess, maybe we could send her a letter and find out what their power and find out what her plans are with that and that cot. Monica saying that the cot was fixed. I don't know how she knows, but I guess it's, we just need to talk about it, the county.
Okay, so just the Lucas 2. Happened. The sheriff just went ahead and pulled it out and gave it to her, loaned it to her, I don't know. But the Lucas 2 is the one that is worth a lot of money, and remember when we talked with her, she did not want to purchase it. She'd go ahead and borrow it from us. So in that instance, she's got something that's worth thousands of dollars that she doesn't want to purchase. And I know you guys feel, well, she's here, she's in there, but this is county property and.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
Is there something then a person get a hold of her? I mean, can we sell it? How do we get it?
Well, if nothing else.
They were saying that you can't sell something with that grant.
Or could we use it for if they want to do or you here? That they could use it?
Or like the Georgetown Lake Fire Service or fire.
No, if we have one in Phillipsburg, like, they're gonna do it something.
If they have EMT, I think you have to be an EMT. I thought that's what Monica said that you had.
Well, we gotta get with the mayor, he was gonna talk to the fire guys and see if there's interest, and there's like EMT guy running around. He came out to my place. He just does it on his own.
What the discussion we had with Frank and Monica was a very good discussion. I felt, and they are very knowledgeable, and this equipment is not cheap. It's very expensive equipment, and you just can't give it to a private enterprise and say, use it as long as you want. You don't want to buy it. And I know that one with that time she sat there and said, well, if you want it back. I mean, she was a little flippant about it, I felt.
Well, we should
Because she
have
did.
time limit on it.
Yeah. Hey, okay, why did the sheriff give it to you? Because he went in there and started giving her stuff without anybody's permission.
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff, I could care less.
This
It's
stuff,
that stuff that's over a certain amount, you know, I mean, we need to know, and then we don't even know. If it's still usable, or has it been used and can't use, I don't know enough about medical stuff, I guess we need to talk to Catherine and. Maybe send her an email about, let's find out about this locus and that cot that it's used.
so
And that'd be good.
the inventory given loaned. Apparently, looks like the sheriff said, go in and take what you want. Pretty much. And then they inventoried it, which goes.
I think we should find out if they have anything worth like over $1,000 or something.
Like those
Should be a
expensive.
time limit on that, yeah. I mean, I don't mind loaning.
Especially if it's an emergency, but we need to have it back, because we never know when we might need it, I totally understand.
Right.
I guess my biggest thing was that there was a emergency or in how they got theirs fixed. Give ours back. In the proper state that they put.
Well, and then you have something and you don't, well, I can fix it maybe next week or And I've got this one, my bother. I'm sorry.
No, I agree, and I guess we need to talk to her, and find out for sure what she does have. And go from there, and send her a letter, I'm not worried about this little. stuff.
Well, this stuff, did they go into, they went into Seaburg and. Got this,
I don't know.
so. If Seaburg ever came back into being, if there was interest like with this QRU and then. Having someone that's an EMT with an ambulance standing by, where they get a crew. Yeah, I mean,
We need to-
they need this stuff.
Some of it. Yeah, some of it.
Well, they.
Well, I don't know what's outdated. too.
Without
I know
data.
there's stuff
Yeah.
in the drum and that they,
But-
it's outdated.
They would have to replace all this. And they're gonna have to replace it because it's pretty much given to them. But the big stuff was loaned.
This, I think we need to, yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm really worried about the, like I said, bigger stuff, this stuff right now. I guess, yeah, down the line, if we're gonna have another ambulance, they probably redo it all anyway, because it's all be outdated, sitting there and. I don't know what goes on there, and this kind of a thing that, you know, I guess let's find out for sure on the. Freeway or if it's in a con. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, 'cause
I
the-
don't know if they have, I don't really know if she has. Or she bring.
What's the stair chair? What's that?
It was step up. in
And we have a radio. Motorola radio.
And I don't know, that's a guess, that's another one, maybe the stair chair, the radio and the other two.
Okay, anything with the serial number and the stair chair.
At least that way we find out what she has, and did she bring something back, and I don't know, I guess that's a bad thing when you take, we should have a sign in, sign out sheet. You know, and at least we know what to get. And then sort of time run on, you know, week or something, and it has to come back in the same way we took it. Something like that.
Because there still is a Phillips for the ambulance, it's just not being funded right now. And who knows if it doesn't,
Yes, I think have to come back.
Yeah.
They was.
work it where it's working a little more streamlined and easier and. You don't have a president that's building mansions. Building not sheds, but barns.
I think that's the best route, just find out for sure what she has, ask her on them 5 things, and then
Okay.
go, then we can move on it. Find out
I can do that.
anything else.
Does it have to be a motion made or?
We send her a letter, and find out for sure what she has, and we can make a motion on how we want to work it out, or. We'll have a written up agreement with paper trail that, we got this at this time, and it was. Finding like working and this.
Return by now, and okay. I'll get a hold of her.
Anything else? If nothing, I'd entertain a motion and be done for the day.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Go back.